see bits of metal floating in there. Okay, so I'm ready to install the kit. If you want to see the previous video on the Naraku destroying itself, you can see how bad it was. What I've essentially done is I've cleaned this out as best as I could. So basically poured the whole load of 2-stroke in there, used a pump to pump it back out again, and yeah, and here we are. So it's nice and clean in there now, and there doesn't seem to be anything floating around. I've spun this about 100 times. There's nothing floating in there, so that's it. I'm happy enough with that. So the last thing I'm going to do before I can actually install this, I have to remove the old gasket that's there. As you see, I have a blade, so I'm just going to chop it out and make sure that it's nice and even and nice and clean. This take a few minutes on this. This is quite important. Okay, so now that it's lovely and clean, I'm just going to prep the piston and pop this thing on. I'll just get some 2-stroke oil. Just put around it. Two rings. And this is a 2-ring kit. Now, glove disintegrated. Okay, you got your gloves. So I'll just move that one down a bit. This is the tricky bit, so you don't break the ring. They're quite flexible, but just in case, just gently work with them. If anything's stuck, just okay, that one is in. It's closing in nicely. One more. Show it the right way around. Camera's in the way. Put it in. Now, just rotate in. Yeah, that's it. I've removed the bearing just for the moment. Make sure that it's lined up. I can adjust a little bit again. So intake, exhaust, arrow goes to the exhaust, and there's the bearing. Just check, but I'd say it's okay. Yeah, the bearing looks okay. Okay. Obviously exhaust to the front. Pushed in the pin there, and I'll just put the clip on the pin there on this side. That's it. It's in the groove now. Ah. And I lost a glove to it. There we go. Okay. So it's in, but it's not clicked. You'll hear a little click now. That's what you want to hear. No, just like a loader. I lost another glove. That's okay. Right, gasket in, pins on both sides in, piston rings are in, so just the kit now. I'll just make sure it's aligned. Okay, so I'll just by hand compress these rings. Try and keep my gloves out of it this time. Now, there we go. I knew I ordered the right kit. Okay, so the new kit is in. Looks lovely. Okay, so lastly is just the head. Now there it is. Here, let me just take off the gloves again because I'll end up getting oil all over this. So O-ring is on it. You have to mind that O-ring. Now, and just get some nuts. I'm just going to tighten the head. I have my torque wrench and I have set the torque wrench. Now, I actually won't tell you what I set it as because I end up having arguments with people in the chat box over what the torque setting should be and shouldn't be. So just go by the manufacturer's settings. I mean, that's the best thing to say. Because don't feel like 5 years down the road someone pointing something out to me and I've been driving the bike all this time and there's been no issue, so I'll skip that bit. Saves everyone time and energy. So I'll just tighten them. Now, nice and square. Make sure she lines up nicely. She does. This kit, straight away, it seems bigger. Just a bit tighter. For some reason it didn't come with new nuts, which is a bit mad. It's just, they give you everything else. You think they'd give you some nuts. Okay. Just tighten them in diagonal. I'll dig out the plug now in a minute. There's no need to over tighten these. Now, that's it. She's solid. So look, I'll just put everything back on and I'll see how it sounds. Exhaust manifold. Okay, that's on. Now next is the fuel intake. I'll just see what the okay, so the intake is on. I'll just put the carb in. Now because it's a new kit, I'm going to use a new spark plug because most likely I'm going to have to jet this carb, so just bear that in mind. That the first start might not be as successful. The cover, I do wonder whether this will actually fit. Yeah, it actually fits. Yeah, do you know what? Fits exactly like the Noracco did, so no big deal. Just put my 2 washers underneath here. Otherwise, it just sits here. It rests on that exhaust, which I don't want because obviously the exhaust will melt it. But apart from that, it looks okay. That's the oil. And I'll have to put the inside out. Make sure the cooling is happening. Okay, so I have it tightened. New plug, like I said. And the reason I use a new plug every time is because when I go to tune it now, I'll know exactly how she's burning. If she needs too much, or if she's getting too much fuel, not enough. That's why. Well, almost starts.